So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghostech Paranormal and, as promised, the reveal. A former member is returning to the team. But who? Many have speculated it could be Phil. Many have said Jason's coming back. Or is it the husband and wife team, Jackie and Clive? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the unmask. Follow me. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. And here is he or she hidden under the blanket. Yes. Let's reveal who it is. It is Jace. Phil.
Hello. Hey.
Oh, I'm going for a fucking pint.
Jeff? 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 Mate, where you gone?
Is it possible you can come up to this device here and touch it? Put your hand on it? It will just make a noise and lights will come on. It just lets us know that you're here with us.
The little... There was a knock then, and that was inside the property.
Wow. That was huge. I'll tell you what, Phil, I've just got a static charge that's going through my arms and through my legs.
Yeah.
Yep. So there was knocking.
Moving something, that would be the best, if you could move something. Are you right, buddy?
Oh, you know.
Did you just see something?
I did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Poison. Manufactured record. Yes, sir. Go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. It's like a light is in my face, but I can't fall for you. I close my eyes and drift away. I've overdosed on you. Cause then you wake up dead one day.
The Hatman Cottage. Nearby, Hundreds of years ago, St. Dunstan, the saint formerly a blacksmith, was working at his forge when the devil paid him a visit, disguised as a beautiful woman with a view to leading him astray. However, St. Dunstan spotted the cloven hooves beneath the dress and grabbed the devil's nose with his red-hot pincers, thus foiling Satan's evil intentions. According to another legend, Satan returned again as a weary traveller in need of a horseshoe. Dunstan saw through the disguise once again and beat the devil until he pleaded for mercy and swore never ever to enter a house with a horseshoe above the door. In 1745, soldiers from Bonnie Prince Charlie's army rampaged through the nearby village. Many of the terrified villagers barricaded themselves in the church tower. The original oak door still bears the scars made by the Scotsman musket balls. 2 of the resident villagers were killed and their murderers caught and executed on the hanging bridge and left on display for all to see. Several months ago, here in this cottage, a woman and her son were staying for a few days away on a short break. On the first day, her son told of a story that during the night he was disturbed from his sleep, and when he opened his eyes, a tall man in a hat was leaning over him. He was unable to move and could not shout out as he was paralyzed. The lady thought that this was just her son having a nightmare, but on the second night, at just after 2 o'clock in the morning, she got up and went downstairs for a glass of water, and on her way back to her bedroom, when passing her son's bedroom, she saw a tall dark figure with no features leaning over her son. She gasped, the figure turned and disappeared into the wall. The Hatman is a modern-day example of a shadow person, a paranormal concept which dates back to ancient times. For about as long as written records have existed, people have described a frightening nighttime vision that paralyzes them with fear and seems to suck the breath right out of them, often by pressing directly upon their chest. The shape of the frightening figure occasionally varies, but victims usually report feeling utterly paralyzed with terror and breathless, as if fear had frozen them from inside out. Sleep paralysis is a state in which the line between sleep and wakefulness is blurred. So a person starts to become aware of their surroundings, but is still in a state of temporary paralysis called muscle atonia, which the body goes into during rapid eye movement sleep to protect us from acting out our dreams. But if this is true, then how did the woman also see the figure leaning over her son? Okay, so here we are at what's called the Hatman Cottage. Now, we did have our static cams rolling last night when Phil and I arrived. I did have a bit of a restless night, but we'll be talking about that later and other things that have happened since we've been here. So we're just going to go for a bit of a walk through and see if we pick up anything. So down here, this is the I guess the living room. I'm just going to pan over here just so you can see what it's like. It is a very, very small place though. Very, very small. I don't think either of us was expecting it to be quite so small. And the ceilings are low. Probably the doors are only about 4.5 feet high. And we've got proof of that.
Would you like to show our viewers the proof? There you go. One nice chunk out of Jeff's head.
Yeah.
And the, mildly funny thing is, he's repeatedly banged the same place. But I'm not actually laughing because I've whacked my head a few times as well, so I've got a bit of a headache.
Yeah, so through here, if I can just bear with me a second. So through here we've got a door. All these doors are quite heavy, and there's another door there that goes into the kitchen. There's like 2 doors.
That fall back and smack my back or something.
Okay, so let's make our way upstairs. So this is the room where I'm staying. Well, it's a little bit weird because there's not a door to this room. You just come up these stairs straight into this room, and I did have an experience last night, not long before we climbed into bed, which we'll again talk about a little bit later. But what I can say, it probably kept me up most of the night. I've only had about 2 hours sleep. So yep. So this is my room. Tiny little windows. And then through this way, through into this room. This is where Phil is sleeping. And then through this way, in here is the bathroom. So really, all these rooms in this little cottage are very tiny. There's no other rooms. That's it. And led to believe that it's 15th century and was once a bakery.
Whilst we're here, Jeff, can we take some readings just to see if there's any EMF naturally in the room before we start? Have a wander around. Just that way we might, if we pick something up, we know whether it's there originally. So far we're not picking anything up. I think one thing which is also worth mentioning, Jeff, is how quiet it is here. It's been, I think last night we heard like one car throughout the whole night go past, and there's just no noise at all. Really, really silent, which is great. Let's just check. There's actually nothing. There's hardly any electrics in here, is there?
No.
Got the door?
Yeah. So this cottage is 15th century, and we've been told that it used to be a bakery many a year ago. The beams are very low, and the doors are only probably about 4.5 foot. Hence, that's why I've got a big gash in my head. I went to duck down. I thought I'd duck down and missed the door, but as I went under the wood beam, it scraped right across my head, taking off a chunk of skin.
It was a good chunk as well,
It was
wasn't
a good chunk, yeah.
Half of it was left on the door frame.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so as I say, we arrived yesterday, didn't we? And we set up our cameras. We had a few static cams around the place. We didn't put out any major equipment at all. We did leave a few of the motion balls, about 10 of them, around this room, with a static cam filming all the night. We haven't reviewed that yet. But as I was going to sleep last night, you was in the next room.
Yeah, I went up first. You came up probably about 10-15 minutes afterwards. It's a weird setup because the room Jeff is in, I would have to walk through to get to the room I'm sleeping in, and then you've got the bathroom after that. So I'd gone up, but we'd left the doors open because we had a camera. And I remember you coming up because I was on my phone texting, saying goodnight to people and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I was laying in bed and I was just about to nod off when your eyes are sort of, you close and then you slightly open them again, then they close again. And in the left-hand corner of the room, we had a camera set up looking at the staircase. And as I was nodding off, I sort of opened my eyes, and what I saw where the camera was a tall figure. And it had a hat on, but it was very, very tall. I'd probably say it's something like 6.5 foot, and it was like curved over, and that's obviously when I jumped up, and it was really weird because I wasn't dreaming. I hadn't fallen asleep, that sort of ruined my night because I probably only got 2 hours sleep after that, because every time I was nodding off, I was sort of opening one eye up and looking into that corner. But that was weird. I don't know if it's because it's called the Hatman Cottage and that planted something in me head or whatever. But if it had, see, we've been to all these places before, and that sort of thing has never happened.
No,
I've
it hasn't. I mean, what you're saying is true. It was reported that this figure was looking over the bed and stuff like that, and yes, potentially it could have been in your mind.
It is the same room though.
It's the same room and roughly in the same place, I mean, I wasn't asleep when you saw it because I heard you, obviously, quite rightly. It made you jump, so I heard you sort of not scream but shout, and I came in, made sure you were all right, and you were telling me what had happened, but you weren't. I don't think you were asleep when you saw it. It's not like you'd had a dream about it.
I don't know, just
because you'd literally. I reckon you'd probably been in bed 2 or 3 minutes. It wasn't very much at all. As I say, I was still awake, but you were certainly very shaken up.
oh f***.
Are you okay?
Fucking hell.
What happened? Are you alright, buddy?
Oh fucking hell.
Did you just see something?
I did.
Do you need a torch on?
Fucking hell, that shut the life out of me. Jesus fucking age.
What did you see, buddy?
Oh, that I was asleep. I nodded off, and when I woke up, where that camera was, all I could see was a figure with a hat on. I mean, if you turn off your torch, and if you look,
Yeah.
it wasn't like that. It was like taller with a hat on. So honestly, Phil, I'm not joking with you. I was going to sleep. I was intent, and I just slightly flickered up my eyes, and I saw that. I honestly jump.
You're right.
No, I ain't.
Well, hello everyone. Firstly, I'd like to say I'm back. Obviously, Jeff did his big reveal. Genuinely, it is nice to come back on the team. My personal circumstances meant that I was unable to do it for a while, and now it's good to be back. So hopefully, this is my first solo session. Hopefully, we might pick something up. Okay, this is the room which I slept in last night. To be truthful, it's just feels like a nice, comfortable room. I certainly didn't have any problems sleeping last night, other than when Jeff woke me up because he saw a figure. But that was in the room next door. They are adjoining rooms. But I slept well. Didn't get the feeling that there was anything nasty or untoward here. So, let's see what happens. Could I ask if there are any spirits within this property, if they could come and join me now? And my name is Phil, and I've come here to talk to you, to find out why you stay here and about your life. No. Okay. I believe that was the K2 meter coming off. Are you coming to join me? Let's put that down so I can see it as well. The device which I picked up, as I've just called it, is known as a K2 meter. And what that does is if you come near me, it makes these light up. And it makes a very small noise. Again, it's nothing to be frightened of. But it just helps me find out that you're here and that you can hear my voice. Likewise, this thing here, if I go near it, it lights up and makes a noise. Again, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's not going to do you or me any harm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back Okay. And I'm going to sit back. Could I ask you again to approach me to see if you can make that go off? Now, you must be standing fairly close to me, because there we go. Thank you. I mean you no harm, and I don't believe you mean me any harm. What can you do? Can you talk to me? I mean, you could even touch me if you want to. I mean, it might frighten me, obviously, so it would be preferable if you could initially make a noise or move something. How about if I hold my hand out? Can you touch my hand?
A voice of a child is captured on Phil's digital recorder saying, "Better shut up, you're keeping us awake." The voice is very faint but can be heard better with headphones. Here is the audio, the best we can enhance it.
Can you touch my hand? Can you touch my hand? It's funny because sometimes when I do this, I just sit here with my hand out and nothing happens. Other times I can feel a coldness. Okay. Are you touching my hand now? Am I frightening you off? I apologise if I am.
The same voice of a child tells Phil, "We can't get to sleep." Here is the enhanced audio.
Okay. Are you touching my hand now? Am I frightening you off? I apologise if I am. Okay. Are you touching my hand now? Am I frightening you off? I apologise if I am. The little... There was a knock then, and that was inside the property. If you can make yourself known to me again, either by coming forwards and, then I'll know that you're here, or by making a noise, or by touching me, moving something, that would be the best. If you could move something. It doesn't matter if it breaks. We'll pay for it. No, in all seriousness, make yourself known. Moving something, that would be the best. If you could move something. It doesn't matter if it breaks. We'll pay for it. Moving something, that would be the best. If you could move something. It doesn't matter if it breaks. We'll pay for it.
Phil finishes his solo session and we meet up downstairs in the dining area.
So may I ask if there are any spirits in this room, if they would like to come and join us, please? I will introduce ourselves again. My name is Phil, and my colleague here is Jeff, and we are here to talk to you, to find out about your life and the history of this place, and indeed why you stay here. Now, we're sat at this table. There is a chair there for you if you'd like to join us, or if you would like to stay a little further away from us because you're wary. I totally understand that. But can I ask, firstly, what is your name? I thought I just saw a light flash on that picture over there. It didn't look like it wasn't a car going past or anything. It was just like a light that flashed almost on it, just momentarily. Can't see anything now.
Is it possible you can come up to this device here and touch it? Put your hand on it. It will just make a noise and lights will come on. It just lets us know that you're here with us. Could you do that for us, please? That would be really good.
It's amazing when you think how old this building is, how much history, how many people have lived here, possibly worked here if indeed it was a bakery, although we only have somebody telling us that. We've got no physical proof of that. But you would expect, if nothing else, there to be some residual energy within a property like this. Do you understand where I'm coming from? You know, it's whether there are spirits that are here or whether it's just the building, you know, replaying something. One thing I would say is, for an old building, when we go in lots of them, and normally you do get creaks and groan, you know, the building moves. This really doesn't though, does it? I mean, there's just, I haven't heard any at all that I could say, oh, that's the, you know, the building moving as the, you know, it gets dark and cools down. It just doesn't do that. It's just so silent. And that's why when you hear the slightest knock, it really stands out, doesn't it?
It was time for my solo session upstairs in my sleeping area where the night before I saw a tall shadow figure with a hat. Phil leaves the cottage, so I'm completely alone. So I'm up in my little room that's next to Phil's. Phil's is through that way. And I'm next to this open staircase. And it was last night when I was just drifting off to sleep. I opened my eyes and I could see a black figure. And it was quite tall. It was bowing over, really. Yeah, it made me jump. And I didn't really get back off to sleep last night. So I probably had about a couple of hours. So what I've got is an EMF tripwire running up the stairs, coming up into this room, and I've got a REM pod down there on the floor as well. Phil is outside the building. He's not inside the building. He's out in the garden. All the doors are closed. So I guess I'd better start and ask, who is the person that I saw in this room in the corner last night? Could you tell me your name, please? Now, there were people staying here a while ago, and in this bed was a young boy, and he said that he saw you. He knows that you wear a hat, and so did his mum. His mum got up in the night and went downstairs to get some water, and when she come back up the stairs here, she saw you leaning over him, looking at him in his bed. It's definitely some sort of movement on the stairs. It's definitely some sort of movement on the stairs. There's knocking on that door over there. Let's grab this cat. So, there was knocking coming from that door when I asked if it's okay if we can stay, and I asked whoever it was to knock, and there was a couple of knocks on that wooden door. This cat. So, there was knocking coming from that door when I asked if it's okay if we can stay, and I asked whoever it was to knock, and there was a couple of knocks on that wooden door. I finished my session upstairs, and we set up for our final session in the living room on the ground floor. Hello to everyone. We're down here on the ground floor. And this will probably be the last time that we speak to you. So if you do want to do something or speak to us or come and take a seat, and please do. But I think what I'm going to do is, first of all, I've got this device here, and I'm just putting it down there on the couch. So you can use that device to communicate. So it just has a green light on it at the moment. If you touch it or hold it, more lights will come on. That's it. Just what you did then. That's what you need to do. You just need to touch it. Brilliant, thank you. Can you try and hold it for longer? Because if you try and hold it for longer, or you get really close to it, it will change colour into orange lights and red lights. Could you try and do that for us, please? And that's a way that we can communicate. In fact, let me try and just put my camera there. There we go. I can stand back. I can stand back and not get in your way then. So, let me ask you a question then. Have you been here for a long time? If you have, just touch the device and make it light up. Make it flicker, just like you did before. I take it then the answer must be no. Oh no, it's flashing again. Okay. So was that a yes? You have been here a long time, you have. Okay. It would be better if you could make it light up some more when you answer the questions. Was you part of the bakery here? Please touch the device if you was part of the bakery. Are you the man with the hat upstairs? So you are the man with the hat upstairs. That's it. You're making it go a little bit higher. Could you try and do it for longer when you're answering yes? Because it's quite hard to see from where I am. Did you mean to scare me last night when I was upstairs? I wasn't too sure if it lit up then.
I don't think it did. I didn't see it.
Let me ask you again.
Yeah.
Did you mean to scare me when I was upstairs? No. Wow. That was huge. I'll tell you what, Phil, I've just got a static charge just going through my arms and through my legs.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I can actually feel you going through me.
Okay, that's a little bit odd.
Why
Why
are
is
you
that?
sitting here on the couch? All activity then ceased, and we ended our investigation at the 15th century Hatman Cottage. We made contact with several spirits, but most importantly, the Hatman that I saw and others before me is the spirit of a gentleman that once stayed here, and not the evil entity Hatman that has another agenda.